Jeremiah, let me ask you, did you shoot your ex and her 9-year-old daughter?
No, ma'am.
This is the story of Brittany Sorrells, a young mother of 3 whose 9-year-old daughter was shot in the head by her Houston gangbanger ex-boyfriend, Jeremiah Jones, age 22. He shot her daughter as a revenge for her not wanting to be with him anymore after breaking up with him due to him threatening to kill her on several occasions. Brittany herself was shot in the shoulder, making her escape death at the hands of her psychotic ex-boyfriend, but unfortunately, her 9-year-old daughter was pronounced dead after she was rushed to the hospital. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. This story will be taking us to Houston, Texas. Alive with energy and rich in diversity, Houston is a dynamic mix of imagination, talent and first-class attractions that makes it a world-class city. With a crime rate of 57 per 1,000 residents, Houston has one of the highest crime rates in America compared to all communities of all sizes, from the smallest towns to the very largest cities. One's chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime here is 1 in 17.
Anger growing over the senseless shooting of a 9-year-old girl. And tonight, court records show prosecutors tried to keep the accused killer locked up, but a judge granted bond.
Brittany Sorrells is a young mother of 3 beautiful children whom she loved dearly. She was a great mother and did what she ought to do for her kids as a good mother. Brittany is said to be a very hardworking person. She was a beautician in the Houston area. Brittany was in a relationship with a young man named Jeremiah Jones, aged 22. Jeremiah was a different type of person. He was a known gang member in the Houston area. He was said to be a violent and constant lawbreaker. He has an extensive criminal background stemming back to when he was 12 years old, including theft, making terroristic threats, and reckless driving. Despite Brittany knowing this, out of her kindness she was still nice and loving to Jeremiah, but after a while she could not take his abuse, heartbreak and lies anymore. So she tried to break up with him, but he would not take no for an answer. Here is a screenshot of their chats after breaking up. "You have made my life miserable since we've been together. You put me through so much, man. Leave me alone. Bro, I can fix everything." Are you serious, Brittany? You don't constantly cheat on somebody you leave and wanna marry, or keep hurting them. Bro, I haven't cheated. Please leave me alone. Please, man. Bye. Bro, I told you I will give you my passwords. Bye, Jay. Please don't do me like this. Brittany decided to get a restraining order against him after he threatened to kill her if she didn't take him back. There were multiple times the police had to show up to Brittany's home just because of Jeremiah. They showed up 4 times at least in a space of few weeks. After being arrested in one of those encounters, he was bonded out for evading arrest and also violating a protective order filed by Brittany. 2 months after their breakup, Jeremiah showed up at her home demanding to see her phone and also demanding back the television he bought for her. Jeremiah badged into the house while Brittany and her 3 kids ages 1, 7 and 9 were home watching TV. He demanded she gives him back the TV which he claimed he bought. He then ripped of the television off the wall. Afterwards, he demanded Brittany's phone which she gave to him willingly. He glanced through the phone, after which he started accusing her of seeing other men even though they were not together anymore. He later walked away to the room where Brittany's daughter, Kylie, age 9, was watching TV and he did the unthinkable. Kylie, age 9, was one of Brittany's kids. She was a beautiful soul.
I'm gonna do my dance, guys.
She was a little beauty who loved sports.
She loved playing basketball, and in one of her last games, she was named the MVP. Jeremiah did the unthinkable. He committed a very silly crime. Jeremiah shot Kylie just because Brittany was not willing to be with him anymore. He shot her because he felt Brittany was talking to other men. He shot her in retaliation for her not making herself available to him. He would go ahead to shoot Brittany too on his way out of the apartment, then he fled the scene. Police arrived and medics transported both Brittany and Kylie to the hospital, but unfortunately, Kylie died at the hospital.
Police say Kylie Sorrells was shot by her mother's ex-boyfriend in an apartment off Oxford Street last night.
It comes just a day after a 7-year-old boy was killed while he was in bed after a drive-by shooting Sunday night in the Cloverleaf area. And 3 boys were shot at an apartment complex in South Houston early this morning. They are expected to be okay. Anayeli Ruiz keeping track of it all. She joins us now live. Anayeli, Chief Troy Finner just spoke out about these shootings against children.
That's right. Chief released a statement about these senseless acts, and in this statement is asking the suspect to turn himself in. A horrible shooting on Monday night has left the family of 9-year-old Kylie Sorrells in mourning. Investigators say 22-year-old Jeremiah Jones intentionally shot and killed Kylie shortly before 10 p.m. and what they believe was revenge. These are the pictures Kylie's mother shared with us. Investigators say the mom and her 3 daughters were watching a movie in the room when Jones suddenly shot up. The door was left unlocked by a mom's cousin who lives with them. Police say Jones confronted the mom and even ripped the TV off the wall. They say Jones was upset about the breakup with Kylie's mother. Investigators say the two then ended up in the living room where the argument continued. They say Jones demanded her phone and accused her of cheating. That is when they say he went back to the bedroom and shot Kylie in the head. The mom told police he came back out and shot her before taking off. They were both rushed to the hospital, but that is where 9-year-old Kylie later died. Chief Finner releasing this statement today saying this senseless act of domestic violence hits home for him and the HPD family. This sweet girl was a student member of the Police Activities League. He asked the community to pray for his angel, her mother, and her family. Kylie's mom tells us she loved being a part of the league, loved playing basketball. She would have been a 5th grader at Windsor Village Elementary and was going to turn 10 years old on July 10th.
I cannot fathom why some animal would do that to a child.
Doug Griffith with the Houston Police Officers Union not mincing words for Jeremiah Jones. The 22-year-old accused killer also shot and injured Kylie's mother, his ex-girlfriend. Court records show he had just bonded out of jail June 1st for charges of evading police, making a terroristic threat, and violating a protective order. Prosecutors requested bond be denied, but a judge granting bonds totaling $45,000. Jones was already out on bond for felon in possession of a firearm and burglary of a habitation when he was granted these 3 new bonds June 1st. Griffith believes the Harris County court system failed this 9-year-old innocent child who loved playing for the Police Activities League.
And the courts don't have to give a bond, or they can raise it to $1 million. It doesn't matter. If you've proven you're not going to be held accountable, or you're not going to do your job as a citizen and not go out and commit crimes, you can hold them in jail. The courts keep saying, oh no, it's a constitutional right, they have to get a bail. That's not accurate. They are lying to the public.
Brittany was in a stable condition. Jeremiah went into hiding after the incident. Police tried to track him, but he was moving from one place to the other even though he was claiming to be innocent. He claimed he was somewhere else when reporters were able to get him on a phone.
We're learning that a man who's wanted for allegedly shooting his ex-girlfriend and killing her 9-year-old daughter is claiming that he didn't do it.
And Fox 26's Dominique Keith spoke with him today. She joins us live from Northwest Houston at the apartment complex where the little girl was killed. Dominique.
Yeah, the 9-year-old little girl was a member of HPD's PAL program, Police Activities League, and she was gunned down here inside her own apartment. The man who's now charged with her murder says he is innocent.
Jeremiah, let me ask you, did you shoot your ex and her 9-year-old daughter?
No, ma'am.
As a manhunt is underway for 22-year-old Jeremiah Jones, he spoke with me on Zoom, telling me he wasn't there at his ex-girlfriend's apartment and saying he did not do it. But why would his ex-girlfriend tell police he's the one who opened fire on her and her daughter?
Honestly, ma'am, I really don't know. I'm just trying to get all of this resolved. I'm trying to, because I was at a gas station on camera minutes before they say, within probably like 15 to 20 minutes before they even said that this happened.
Houston police say it was just before 10 p.m. Monday when Jones's ex-girlfriend says he burst into her Northwest Houston apartment.
There was a short struggle and the kids stayed in the bedroom and she was out in the living room. And before she was even shot, he went directly to the bedroom and for the most part executed this 9-year-old girl.
It just makes me really sad just knowing that, you know, the little girl didn't make it.
People are just shooting people now, and it's okay, and I'm not okay with that. It's heartbreaking to hear. I'm devastated.
Meanwhile, Jones, who is out of jail on bond for several charges, says he and his attorney are in the process of retrieving store surveillance video that he says will prove he was about 20 miles away from his ex-girlfriend's apartment when she and her daughter were shot. He says he's going to turn himself in.
I have no reason to hide. I'm going to turn myself in. I just want my lawyer to get all the proper documents for me.
Now, Houston police investigators say they are pulling surveillance video of their own from here at the apartment complex, and they believe it will show that Jones was here at the complex. Now, 2 other children were also home during the shooting. They were not injured. They're now.
His brother also went ahead to support him in this interview.
You don't know who is coming from, so you just assuming one person. You know, like even when he was incarcerated, she was like, oh, people watching me and everything. Like people watching my house, watching me. And I'm like, bro, ain't nobody, I say, man, ain't nobody worried about your broke ASS. You feel me? And we get money. Like we work, you feel me? I got business, we get money. Like we ain't worried about somebody that don't even have $20. So, and it's just nonsense. I'm trying to clear all this up because my brother is 100% innocent.
What are your concerns?
Stressful. That's stressful. Like, you know, he over here, he nervous. He nervous. You know, if he wasn't innocent, he'll take off. You know, and leave. We got places all over, but he's innocent. He's willing. If they're willing to go get the video today, he's willing to turn himself in today.
After evading police for a while, a young man identified as 22-year-old Jeremiah Jones was arrested by HPD SWAT and tactical officers in a parking lot in the 22300 block of Imperial Valley Drive. He was charged with capital murder for the shooting death of 9-year-old Kylie Sorrells.
Houston police say they have made an arrest in the case. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Christine Noel. The suspect, identified as 22-year-old Jeremiah Jones, was arrested earlier this evening. Our Brandon Walker is live tonight at HPD headquarters downtown with the latest on the suspect. Brandon?
Yeah, Christine, Daniela, HPD SWAT and tactical officers arrested Jones this evening on the north side. On your screen now, many of Jones's mugshots from his lengthy criminal past, stretching back to when the 22-year-old was 18. Multiple violent offenses, also multiple bond violations. By the way, Jones was out on bond last night when he allegedly took a 9-year-old girl's life. Police arrested him, 22-year-old Jeremiah Jones, accused of killing a 9-year-old girl. Kylie Sorrells is dead, shot, Houston police say, by Jones, her mother's ex-boyfriend. Jones is also accused of shooting mom, Brittany Sorrells, who will survive, live without her girl.
He's also charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon because Kylie's mom was also shot. According to court documents, Jones was out on 5 different bonds in Harris County when he shot Kylie and her mom. In fact, he was released on bond just 2 weeks before the murder after being charged with felon in possession of a firearm. He was a relentless criminal.
22-year-old faces a capital murder charge, as well as aggravated assault. Domestic violence, police say, has impacted this family before. In the last month, there were 4 calls for service to the apartment unit. June 10th, 2 calls for threat by phone, and on June 7th, another disturbance call. Jones himself, no stranger to the law, already out on bond, evading arrest back in January. There's also a charge of terroristic threat of a family member and a record that stretches back to when he was 18. Tonight, Jones is back behind bars, accused of killing a 9-year-old girl who, in this GoFundMe page, her mom said, loved making TikTok videos and was an MVP basketball player on the Police Activities League.
This senseless act of domestic violence hits home for me and the HPD family. That sweet child was a student and member of our Police Activities League program, Police Chief Troy Finner said.
Now to a developing story. The man accused of shooting and killing a 9-year-old girl last week in the Heights made his first court appearance.
Girl Jones stood before the judge wearing a yellow jumpsuit. He is charged with capital murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The prosecutor laid out the alarming accusations against him. He's accused of shooting his ex-girlfriend and her 9-year-old daughter, Kylie Sorells, at their home on Oxford on June 13th. Kylie died at a hospital.
It's a case of great community concern anytime one of our children is victimized. It's something that sort of strikes at all of our hearts in the criminal justice community. My thoughts are absolutely with the family this morning.
Brittany is expected to recover from her gunshot wound. Kylie's sisters were also present in the home during the shootings but were unharmed. Kylie would be really missed by her mother and family members, especially her grandmother. She was a very great child according to her family.
It's just a hurtful process at this time, and we're devastated. It's a nightmare. Not sleeping, not eating.
The beautiful 9-year-old, as you can see here, loved basketball and goofing off. This grieving grandmother says she plans to fight for a law to be put into place in her granddaughter's honor that would make the punishment for repeated threats carry the same weight as if they actually carried it out.
She reported the threats.
You're saying if there was a law in place that would crack down on even threats, her daughter would have been saved, your granddaughter would have been saved.
Exactly.
We do hope she gets the justice she deserves. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Kylie Sorrells. May Kylie's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse and gun violence survivors. Please stay safe out there and see you guys in the next video.